Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/Talesofneckbeard because everybody likes those good old-fashioned story time stuffs. If you would like to be absolutely amazing, share your support and want to see more videos like these, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on them Taco Bell notification. Let go. Our first story comes to us from username Stitches for Witches. Lakebeard used my friendship to try and get with my boyfriend after we broke up. First time posting here, but I watch a lot of YouTube readings while I draw, so I thought I would share a story of my own. Now I was, for a lack of a better term, a social butterfly in school. I wasn't popular, but I would make friends with anyone and everyone who would bother to talk to me. This includes our main antagonist, Poopyhead. I'll call her this because my friend Spaghetti said she always smelled like poop. Somehow I had either failed to notice this or just blocked it out. This story also includes my ex, no cool name for him though. Also, Spaghetti, bless her, literally warned me about everyone in the story, and if I had just listened to her, this would have all been avoided. Fair warning, I also suck in this story. It all started in the summer of my freshman year of high school, when I got swept up in my first in-person relationship. I was absolutely head over heels in love. However, considering I had no standards or self-respect, it was awful. So we broke it off before Thanksgiving. I was heartbroken despite us mutually agreeing that the friendship wasn't healthy. Since the relationship wasn't so bad, I started backsliding into my old habit of never doing my homework and lying to everyone about my academic standing, including my ex while we were dating. It only got worse once we broke up, which is where Poopyhead comes in. Now, I had known Poopyhead before all of this outside of school. We went to Girl Scouts together for a short while. Also, we attended a school-run therapy program together in freshman year. I am not over-exaggerating nor trying to be egotistical when I say she had no friends. Spaghetti had told me prior that she had caught Poopyhead leering at her and another friend in the girls' locker room. People literally avoided this girl like the plague for a reason. Despite all this, I felt really bad for her, and I went out of my way to spend time with her if I ever had a class with her. Maybe if she had friends, she would be better. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? So when Poopyhead and I were in US government together, I partnered with her for a semester-long project, meaning that once I began to fall behind on homework, our project severely suffered, and I ended up doing none of the work I had agreed to besides maybe the proposal. Fine, email the teacher, tell him what's up, so he can give me the F. I deserve it. All is fair and done, except that's not what happened. Poopyhead decided that it's not enough to have me flunk me out of my sophomore year. She decided that this was a perfect opportunity to essentially slide in my ex's DMs and tell them all the things I was doing, or I guess not doing, behind my back, which was just my homework. I kid you not, this next part plays out like a movie. About 2 weeks after we broke up, I was going to go have lunch with him to get some closure and ask to still be friends. When I saw her, I knew I was dead meat. Everything around me slowed and I just stood there. I was utterly heartbroken. Regardless of my reasons, I still treated her like a normal friend. I had cared about her and I trusted her. She knew I was going through the breakup and it was incredibly difficult for me. If she had just told the teacher and ended the friendship due to a lack of trust, I would understand completely, but this hurt me so bad. I actually don't remember what happened after this. I think he got mad and asked why I lied to him about doing my homework. I'm sure this delighted Poopyhead despite me not being able to pay attention to her at all. So since she didn't seize her opportunity to just work this out civilly with the help of the teacher, I got to be the one to tell our teacher what had happened. I did not flunk my sophomore year and got to finish up the project solo in a separate class. Also, the teacher is genuinely cool, so I'm not sure if he would have flunked me. I had him again my senior year, and I was really proud to pass his class with flying colors. Oh, but it's not over yet. My ex and I had another talk. I forget why, but he ended up siding with her, I think. I was so mad and hurt that I responded with the worst thing I could ever think of, which was, I want to punch her in the face. Mind you, I am a big weenie. My arms are wet noodles. She, on the other hand, took wrestling, and I'm pretty sure she had gotten into physical fights before. I'll let you do the math. I did not punch her in the face. Sort of wish I did, but I got called into administration. I told them ashamedly that I was just really mad and couldn't think of any other way to convey my sheer rage, and they just let me go. Word got back to her though, since I got banned from a therapy classroom I used to hang out in with some friends I had. I had graduated in freshman year, while she stayed. I eventually told my mom, since she was concerned I was distraught for 2 too long, who called my ex's mom. Coolest lady ever. She said, "Oh, she invited him to see a play that she's in. I think he just thinks he's going as a friend. I'll have a talk with him. See, told you." This was the last I heard of them talking. I know they didn't go out since I knew he wasn't interested, but I have no idea what happened after this. My ex and I had some normal closure after all of this, and I honestly wish him the best. Spaghetti and I are still friends, and to this day she actually sent me an update on Poopyhead not too long ago. It's a Vice interview from 2018 about homelessness. Poopyhead and her mom are living out of a leased car, spending most of their money at Denny's. It paints the duo in a sympathetic light, but all of the comments are roasting the poor financial decisions. I'm excited to finally have this experience purged from my system. Our next story comes to us from username Thomas Jefferson Max. Left him at the dance without him knowing. New to Reddit, but I watch a lot of neckbeard Reddit videos on YouTube, and I have a few stories of my own that I want to share. I was a freshman in high school. I used to be very awkward and shy, and it was hard for me to talk to people. I only hung around the same old friends who I knew well. Anyways, I was in a lower level math course because math was never my strongest subject. There was this guy in my class who sat in front of me who we will call Z for this story. I knew who he was just because my school district was small and because he was friends with some of my friends' boyfriends. After a few weeks of school, he would turn around and make jokes or just talk to me about different things. He was very nice and I enjoyed building a friendship with him. Z was not a typical neckbeard in terms of looks. He didn't smell bad, he didn't actually have a beard, none that I can remember, but he was interested in some neckbeard typical interests such as anime, drawing, Pokemon, etc. As our friendship went on, he started to become more flirtatious and would text me every day after school. He started to ask me what kinds of guys I was interested in, and he couldn't believe that I hadn't had a boyfriend yet. I made it clear to him that I wasn't ready to date anyone and that I wanted to wait until I was older to date. At this time during the year, our annual formal dance was coming up. I was very excited to go and hang out with my friends and get to dress up. It was about 3 weeks until the dance when Z started asking me if I was going with anyone and if I wanted to go with anyone in particular. I very immediately realized that he was asking me these things so that he could ask me. Again, I was very awkward and shy during this time, so I tried to avoid him as much as possible. I wouldn't answer his texts and I would pretend that I was focusing super hard in math class so that he wouldn't talk to me. Then the day came. We walked into math class and there he was, waiting at my desk for me. He had a piece of paper held close to his chest and then he asked me if I would be interested in going to the formal with him. He handed me the paper and it was a drawing of a rose. The paper had something written on the top but was erased, but later deciphered that it was a note asking me to date him. He asked me to go to the dance with him in front of our entire class and I was so embarrassed and on the verge of a panic attack, so I told him yes, and I thanked him for the drawing. Later that day after school ended, he texted me asking me if I really liked the drawing of the rose. I assured him that I did like it. He then said, "You didn't act the way I wanted you to when I gave you the drawing." What was I supposed to do when he gave me a drawing of a rose? Throw a party? Jump on top of him right there in math class? Bow down and kiss his feet? Anyways, I was not excited about going to this dance with him. As he got closer to the formal, his flirting and nice gestures got more and more suffocating. I even heard from a friend that he was telling people that I have a nice rack, and he was excited to see what I would wear to the dance. Yeah, that didn't help my anxiety or awkwardness. Finally, the night of the dance was here. We agreed to just meet at the dance because neither of us could drive yet, and I didn't want any awkward photos with him. Once I got there, he was waiting at the door for me. We went through all the awkward, "you look beautiful tonight" BS, and I was just ready to find my friends and distance myself from him. He was very clingy, and I felt super uncomfortable the entire time. We went into the dancing area, and we were all dancing with a group of our friends to some upbeat music. I was dreading the time when they played a slow song because I did not want to dance with him. The first slow song played, and I panicked. I told him that I was hungry and wanted to get some food. He took me into the food and drinks area, and I awkwardly stood there stuffing my face with crackers and cheese slices so that I wouldn't have to talk to him. He kept trying to rush me so that we could go back into the dancing area so that he could slow dance. I told him upfront that I didn't want to slow dance. The first time I told him that, he seemed to be okay with it. After the song ended, we went back to our group and danced with them again. Another slow song came on and I had the same panicked feeling. He then asked me again if I wanted to dance with him. I told him that I didn't feel comfortable with that, but he grabbed my waist anyways and pulled me in super close. I was super uncomfortable and stiff-armed him the entire time. To make it more awkward, I also looked over to the right the entire time and didn't look back at him. I could feel his grip getting tighter, and I felt him trying to force me to be closer to him. I was still leaning back and stiff-arming him, but I guess he didn't realize or care that I was visibly uncomfortable. I also felt him trying to get closer to my face and try to kiss me, even though my face was turned completely the other way. After the dance ended, I pushed away from him, but I was too shy to just run away right in front of him, so I waited for the perfect time to get away. Luckily for me, one of his friends started bro fighting and punched him in the balls as a joke. As he was bent over in pain, I ran to the ladies' room because I knew he couldn't follow me there. I sat down in the corner of the bathroom and just started freaking out and having a panic attack. I called my dad and I pleaded to him to come pick me up. Some of my friends came in and tried to calm me down and cheer me up. When I told them I was leaving, they tried to convince me to stay and told me that I could just hang out with them and not have to be around Z anymore. I didn't feel safe at that point and just wanted to go home and cry. My dad sent me a text that he was outside, so I made sure the coast was clear and I took off out of there. I didn't even tell him or have someone else tell him I was leaving. I didn't care. He didn't listen to me when I told him no, so I thought we'll call it even that I didn't tell him I left. He kept texting me that night asking where I went, but I just shut off my phone and didn't answer him. The next 2 days of school, I pretended to my mom that I was sick so she'd let me stay home. I'm sure she knew I wasn't sick, but she knew I had a horrible time at the dance, so she let it slide. I kept getting texts from him asking where I was and asking if I wanted him to send the notes from math class. I still ignored him. When I came back to school finally, our math teacher had actually changed the seating in our classroom. This was a blessing to me. Now, I didn't have to awkwardly sit behind him in class while he asked me a bunch of questions about that night. I slowly pulled away from him until we finally became strangers again. My anxiety and shyness are much better now, but I still have him blocked on social media because I'm still kind of scared of what happened that night and how he made me feel. For a while after this, he did try to make me jealous by always walking around my lunch table with his new girlfriend and stuff, but I wanted nothing to do with him. TLDR, Neckbeard smothered me until I left him at a dance without him knowing I left. And with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would like to show your support, be absolutely amazing, and see more videos like these, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on those notifications or else you'll act in sus. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.